Just doing that. Mute this first. Unmute my mic. And hello, everyone and no one. Welcome to another Rotten Movie Reviews. With me, as always, is Tyrannius Alexandrius Tamir Lich, otherwise known as Tyr or Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, not so bad. Also with us is the lovely Angela. How you doing today, dear?
I'm good.
And
That movie was a lot.
bringing
bad.
around the panel is to James Colley. How you doing, James?
Fairly good. You, sir?
Oh, not so bad. Johnny, you gonna be in here hanging out?
Yeah, and I forgot to give you a picture.
Oh, you can always send it to me whenever. Can always add it to this, and we'll do it live. But today we are going over the 1984 movie Racing with the Moon.
84.
And that was a weird ass movie. Oh god, like it was almost the definition of ADHD at the time. Well, I mean, they tried to go happy, tried to go sad, go serious, go just a bit of everything. It seemed like it's not a terrible movie, but it's weird.
It's made in the same vein as on Skid Row, where it's also in that same time setting, but it's just a slow boil, which was also an '80s movie.
I can believe it.
But
I like this one.
Oh, I didn't hate it. It's just, wow, it was a little bit all over the place.
There was a lot going on in the movie, and it touched a little bit on everything.
Oh, yeah, like it was trying to show everything of the time. And I forgot that frickin' bowling, or the pin resetters used to be done that manually that far back.
Say
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I don't think it went automated until like the late 60s, early 70s.
And then that all depended on where it reached to, because that was more small town USA of what it was supposed to go on.
How that was it's a well, not a war drama, but a drama with a war background. It's just it's a good movie.
the movie pissed me off.
I mean, again, you lived through this time. Of course, you're gonna be angry.
I'm not that old.
You're not that eld?
I am not that old.
See?
James the eld.
Yes, James the Eld.
Eldon
Of
James.
the house and L. But anywho, yeah, it pissed me off from 10 minutes into it.
How's that?
It just pissed me off. You could tell that Nick Cage character was going to be a bastard.
Yeah.
And he lived up to it from start to fucking finish.
Yeah, basically
Hey.
until right at the end, and where it looked like he'd given up drinking.
He's
I
still
was-
a bastard.
Oh yeah, he's still a bastard. I was almost half expecting when he threw the bottle away for Sean Penn's character to be like, first right choice you've made in a long time.
I was thinking they weren't going to go through with the abortion. Like he was going to have a change of heart in the end.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that they did it.
Yeah. I mean, for that, you know, they're supposed to be both about the same age, 17.
Mm-hmm.
And his character, Nick Cage, played a typical 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Too big for his fucking britches.
Yeah.
And Sean Penn, he's like an old soul. He's years above his age.
I think part of that had to do with the fact of what his dad did. Since his dad was the groundskeeper of the graveyard.
Possibly, yeah. That might have had something to do with it.
Maybe gave him a little bit more perspective.
Well, there's that similarity. Then there's the fact that you find out it's never like blatantly displayed, but heavily indicated that Nick Cage's dad's an alcoholic.
Well, he tells him that.
Yeah, he said he's back
an
on the bottle
abusive
again.
Alcoholic. Then the question is, and that Nick Cage's mom is dead. So the question is.
Well, remember he gets the black eye, and he tells him like, yeah, his dad's on the bottom. Like, it's clearly that his dad's
which means
abusive.
his dad is clearly an abusive alcoholic.
Yeah.
And his mother's dead. How did his mom die?
Maybe dad beat her one too many times. Or it could have been. See, it's never really explained. We're just making an inference. Maybe she died. Remember, they said he used to. The groundskeeper father used to carry him home, so he was a kid when she died. So she could have died of natural causes, for all we know.
That could have caused the mom to start, or the dad to start drinking.
Yeah.
Usually, that's a bigger indicating factor for a lot of things.
Either way, that clearly his way of coping with things was to become an asshole.
Yeah.
The thing he hates.
Exactly.
Yeah. Either way, it just pissed me off. And the fact that, the abortion scene, or the whole thing about he's a kid about it, doesn't want to take responsibility. That's the whole reason for the fucking abortion to begin with.
Yeah.
He runs from responsibility.
He can't even turn around and cover it himself, much less show empathy for. He can't show empathy for the girl. He can't cover the cost of anything himself. He can't. He has a car. He could have gotten money for his car to pay for the abortion.
Well, they did say that that's not his car, it's his dad's car.
Yeah. I'd have sold Dad's car. Honestly. Dad's already beaten my ass. I might as well sell the car.
Dad or done the smart thing and worn a fucking condom.
Or no, he should just own up and just admit he did what he did.
Condoms back then were not the most reliable thing in the first place.
Yeah, weren't they still using sheepskin?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, and they're porous, so...
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't help for a lot of those things that most people don't even know how to use them properly. I mean, they're not... It still was more effective than nothing. And obviously about as effective as a pull-out method, because you can still knock a woman up with that.
Yeah, technically it's like people using a cloth mask during at the start of COVID. Which is a 7% difference between not wearing a mask.
If I recall correctly, I believe during World War II they were giving out part of the standard naval kit were condoms.
Well, because a lot of those they would do without since they didn't have the lubricant, they can be used to carry water. I think it's almost up to a gallon. If you were unaware.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that's in the prepper thing is to get non-lubricated condoms, because then you can use them in a last-ditch effort to hold water.
They were also giving them out because
They were fucking everything whenever they came into port.
Yeah, I was gonna say the rise in sexually transmitted diseases during World War II.
Yeah, sailors will fuck about anything.
Ouch.
It's just as bad as cons.
Pretty much.
From port to port.
They were a Marine horde.
But yeah, like I said, that just kind of Nick Cage's character pissed me off.
Well, I mean, apparently it's been a theme of us watching movies to where majority of the characters apparently we're not supposed to like, because from everything you can tell, it's like Nick Cage's character wasn't really supposed to be liked.
No, he wasn't, and he played it well. He did.
Yeah.
I was
And
gonna say he's got the skills. I don't like hating him, but I had to hate him.
who was the chick in that?
McGovern.
Elizabeth McGovern.
Yep.
Boobies.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, jeez.
They were some nice ones, though.
Boobies.
Hell, the chick who played Sally, they don't even have a picture of for her. Because apparently she only did the Powers of the Matthew Star, or she's most known for Powers of the Matthew Star, Racing with the Moon, and They're Off. Yeah, she didn't do anything after 1984.
Oof.
Maybe she just did a few movies and didn't like the lifestyle.
Well, she did a couple TV episodes and then a couple movies.
Huh.
Because she was in one episode of Trapper John M.D., one episode of Father Murphy, one episode of Powers of the Matthew Star, the movie They're Off, and one episode of Alice, and then Racing with the Moon, and that was the last thing she did per IMDb. But some people, they go through, they do a couple movies or whatever, and then because maybe something happens or whatnot, they decide, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Rick Moranis did a shit ton of movies. He was very popular, and then I believe his wife died, and he just stopped doing movies.
Yeah, he stopped doing movies
to raise his kids.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not knocking him.
No.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Oh, no, and he was smart enough, from what it sounded like, to save the money so he didn't have to do a bunch of other stuff. Because that's like the kid from Sling Blade that was then in Tokyo Drift and then had, like, I think was in, like, 4 to 5 seasons of NCIS New Orleans before his character.
I absolutely love him.
He actually
American Gothic.
He actually quit acting because he said, I've made enough money and everything, and it's getting to the point to where it's like, I want to spend more time with my family, and I've got enough money to be able to do it now, so I'm going to do that.
I mean, at some point, making money, you just make money to make money. You know?
Well, that's where it was like, I want to say it's Ethan Hawke, because just like, everyone also realizes, like, Samuel L. Jackson had that stint of just constantly being in a shit ton of movies, and like, it's not always like the Nicolas Cage thing to where they're trying to pay off debts and everything. With Ethan Hawke, he actually said flat out, it's like, this is his job. If he's not doing movies, he's not making money, therefore he can't provide for his family.
Yeah, but at a certain point, did you know that for $3 million, if you put it in 3 different CDs in a quarter, you put $1 million in one month, you put $1 million in the second month, and then you put another $1 million in 3 separate CDs once a month.
Mm-hmm.
You are making $360,000 a year.
Oh.
Well, that all depends on the lifestyle he and his wife wanted to have for them and their kids. So it might have been one of those things like we were watching on the Chris Rock special, to where they wanted to send their kids to a really fancy school because they didn't want them to have to go to public school or some shit.
Homeschool.
Or, well, it all depends. Back in the day,
public school's great.
Public school can be. It's one of those things.
There are positive aspects to both.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Did I mention Johnny's Hellcat's with us as well?
No, you didn't.
Well, son of a bitch. He's okay.
Hi, Johnny.
Yeah, because I asked if he was still here.
Hey, Hellcat.
It's a weird day. It doesn't feel like a Sunday for me because I don't have work tomorrow, so I'm thrown off.
I watched the most important part of the movie, the end credits.
So it's just like after last night of watching the Chris Rock special and then watching this, I'm like, I need a fucking palate cleanser after these because, like, Chris Rock was up and down because it was either it's like he had some good things and there was pandering. Then he had the ending of his thing on his thing on Will Smith, which was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then there was this that was up and down and is a roller coaster of emotions for the most part.
He's not Dave Chappelle. That's all I got to say on that matter. He's not Dave Chappelle.
Bro, not many comedians could go through and do shit like that. The only other ones that could do it would be like a couple British comedians like Jimmy Carr or, oh God, what's the jackass lefty atheist? Ricky Gervais.
I was going to say, you'll have to be more specific.
All right, so don't get me wrong. I like Ricky Gervais. I like some of his takes. And he's the only one in Hollywood currently saying, like, y'all need to shut the fuck up and just act.
Yeah. Well, he said that, hell, even like Russell Brand has been going after all of the media because of the shit they done. And especially when they're like, well, he's a tried and true lefty, just like majority of the people that are in those things. There's not many people in Hollywood who are going to be on the right just because they're not really going to get work.
I'm not saying that Jon Stewart is on the right. I'm just saying that Jon Stewart now is attacking the left.
Well, he always used to throw little quips at him, and that
he
whole
never
thing.
went hard on him.
Yeah,
he's going hard, but he's still on the left.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of one of those things. It's like I think Monkey said this morning or last night on his stream that I had to rewatch, where he was talking about the Russell Brand thing, and he goes, I don't need to point out the people on the right to criticize them because they get pointed out all the goddamn time, but the people on the left aren't.
Yeah.
I concur.
I agree.
Oh, what's going on, Mitch?
Oh no, it's Mitch.
I got to mention a wild one. Yeah, I told him about our stream and that we would be reviewing a movie. And funny, our streams sort of like mimicked my stream yesterday.
Well, we just started rambling.
Well, it's kind of one of those things. There's not because I don't get into all the cinematography, like how much it costs to make the movie. There's so many other channels that do that. Again, it was that whole thing of this is supposed to kind of be like we all watched a movie as a group of friends who went out to the movie theater, and now we're discussing it. If there's not much to discuss, because of it wasn't super awesome and had all these awestruck things, you kind of go off onto other things and like what you want to watch or listen to or whatnot.
I mean, most of the older films are either good and we love them, or bad and we rip them apart. Most modern films are, dear
trash.
God, why the fuck did we do this to ourselves?
Well, I mean, of like some of the ones that have come up and that we got to watch, like I still will say, for the past couple of years, because I don't remember what year Willy's Wonderland came out, that was fucking brilliant.
Yes.
Good God. Nicolas Cage doing acting and quite literally does not say any words other than grunting.
Yes.
Or an exasperated sigh. Like, that movie was just dumb fun.
And I stand by my headcanon that he's playing Ghost Rider without being Ghost Rider. That is who he is in that movie.
Yeah, a lot of modern films suck. I mean, you get a couple good ones every now and again, but it's It's really, really hit or miss.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything that's going to be propped up and have a thing for it plastered everywhere is going to be very meh, usually in most cases. Like, the Marvel movies are having that issue to where so much shit is just complete meh. DC's going down that route because they're trying to be like, oh, we got to be dark like fucking Marvel was. And it's like, no, dude, for that shit, you need to do what most of your animated things have done and stay light and, the power fantasy for kids.
See, that's the problem. People don't stay in their wheelhouse. DC has animated movies on lock. Like, that's where they're strongest.
Yeah.
Stay there. Marvel, I don't know what the fuck Marvel's wheelhouse is.
DC, and I don't really want to watch the sequel to Shazam because I just think it's going to get ruined. But Shazam was everything the DC movies should have been. It was fun. It was brighter. It was more lighthearted and everything. It was about a 13-year-old that gets superpowers. And how did the fucker act? Like a 13-year-old with superpowers.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I still love adding the freaking pictures to have it just scroll through on a TV. It's just, that I have on there.
I actually really dig that.
It's so dumb, but I love it. It's like one of the very few creative things I've actually done to where I'm just like, I like that.
Just out of curiosity, could you share my screen right quick?
On that thing, no, we're going to try something. Okay, this is going to be weird. Okay, go to this. We're going to add a scene. Oh, hold on. Let's go over to Discord, because are you sharing your screen?
I believe so.
It is not showing you as sharing your screen, because it would have a little live thing next to you.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh. Let's try that again.
I believe you got to turn your screen off.
No, I
Right.
shouldn't have to.
No, you should be able to pull the other one up.
Because that's what I've done on all my other friends, or some of my other friends. Oh, yeah, we're doing this live, folks.
We're learning as we go.
The
Cha-cha-cha.
screens.
And for me, I am going to say
There we go.
window
Got it.
capture. Okay. You were live.
Eric?
So we will watch your stream. And Discord. Okay. We're going to slide that there.
Are we ready? Oh shit! Am I out?
No.
No, you're.
Oh.
There you go.
And there we go.
Okay. Find a picture of Johnny from his childhood boxing career. Six posted that on Twitter, and I'm going, "Oh, that's just so cute, cute little Johnny."
And I can do that, and it goes back to there.
That was Golden Mitts training.
Hellcat.
Rare,
Hellcat.
rare films, Mo.
Was that before you went Golden Gloves?
I never made Golden Gloves.
Oh, okay.
That was cute.
A young Hellcat.
Oh, and he's doing that one. So we open that in browser real quick. Or wait, can I just save image? That is not all files. Crap. Okay. Save image. Save. And I'll have to go through and get rid of the white background because it... I know you sent it without the white background, but it added one when I had to open it up. Okay. So let's continue. The stream has ended. Cricket noise.
It's still going.
Okay.
It's still going on my end.
Oh, because James closed his out.
Oh, okay. It's on
Yeah.
Discord then.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's because of that whole thing of me being a bit weird when trying to look at 6 different things at once.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I just forgot that since you were no longer on there, I had to go and do that. Okay, so that's there. Hellcat. Okay, cool. It does have all of that. So let's go and grab that and go. Delete just to be safe.
Yeah, minor
Save.
movies are starting to be regurgitated shit. No one's taking risk anymore. No new ideas are being pumped out. Too many political messages.
Oh yeah, they freaking. It's the same thing that they just go through on everything, and we'll switch back to this.
Like Godzilla versus Kong. I don't want to fucking see the humans do shit. Fuck the humans. I want to see Kong and Godzilla fucking fight. That's all I want to see.
Big monster.
Yeah, that's all I want to fuck. Don't. Oh well, you gotta throw in the environmentalist message. No, gotta talk about the humans. Fuck the humans. Show me the big fucking monsters fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give two shits about the humans. I did not come to see Godzilla and Kong and then Bozo from Dumbo Land saves the planet. The fuck?
Yeah, but
I liked the last 2.
I didn't watch any of them. Didn't watch Skull Island. Didn't watch any of it.
Skull Island wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it's again like they fought for maybe 20 minutes of an hour and a half long movie.
Yeah.
Although what I did see in the preview, where Godzilla is charging up, that looked phenomenal.
Because like the Godzilla one, the King of the Monsters, that one was a cool movie.
I really liked that.
All of the
Yeah, I
human
like that
portion
one.
of it, it's like just 90% of the human portion of it, I didn't care about.
I
But it's
don't
like
need a reason why they're fighting.
That's why I like Pacific Rim, and it did with the first movie. It had the human element like it was supposed to, and it was actually a pretty good movie. The second one needed less human element, more giant kaiju fighting. I don't care about all of the other stupid shit. Still, not a bad movie, not a great movie, but not a terrible movie.
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm more.
So this is my thing. Oh, go ahead, James.
I thought Pacific Rim was more like a Robot Jocks.
Yeah, like Pacific Rim was a mixture of mecha and giant kaiju.
And Robot Jocks sucked.
Because it was giant robots.
I mean, the only way you can really do giant robots for that, from what I've seen, has typically been a mecha anime. So it's like you're either doing Gundam, Gurren Lagann, or Zoids. And while Gurren Lagann's pretty decent, I still love Zoids.
You're forgetting a couple.
A lot of couples.
Well, that's like the main ones most people remember. You could also go with like Big O, Evangelion. Oh, that's really not giant mechas, considering the fact.
Is. That is giant mecha. They are fighting. They're fighting the giant mecha.
Well,
like even with the angel shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, weren't those things like basically like brain dead like angels that they just added to their body?
No, no. They were clones of Shinji's mother. They were.
Yeah.
They literally.
Yeah, that series is so fucking weird as well, and that's devolved. And we'll go back to the movie review since we're not really talking about the movie as much.
All right, so back to the movie.
Okay, what more?
Yeah, enough distractions here.
In a film.
Well, there's actually a lot to say. I was surprised at some of the well-known names in smaller parts.
Yeah.
Actually, like
Fuck, I really think that
For that
guy.
situation, I don't know how big that some of them were at that time frame.
They weren't.
Kill Bill and Bud. I
Carol
can't remember.
Kane was actually pretty well known for her comedy at the time.
And yes, Mitch, the Star Wars Holiday Special, I actually about hit my friend when he showed me that. I was like,
That's
how are you gonna show me this and not at least have offered me a drink? And by that I mean like a complete handle, been like, just bubble this real quick.
So
It's
David
funny.
Carvey was in this, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out when he was in this, because...
He was babyface.
Huh. That's kind of weird. It's showing because I get to see the two chats and I
There it
guess
is.
the live.
Michael Madsen.
Yeah,
I guess
Michael
my live
Madsen.
chat in OBS is working faster than my live chat in fucking YouTube.
Yeah, it's a delay.
It is.
Yeah, weird shit.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
latency.
I
Are
was
you
trying
able
to
to
figure out
take
who
the
that
reel?
was, and it's Michael Madsen.
Are you able to take the reel and move it up in between Rotn maybe?
Actually, we can do this. We can go and click on this one. Go. Click on him. Johnny gets to go in the middle now.
Johnny throwing himself over as like a real cat.
It says here you're a bitch.
Damn.
I drank like a full bottle of NyQuil. Yeah. No, it's still weird. It's showing a drink like a full bottle of NyQuil in the YouTube chat and in my OBS live chat, but it never showed the Star Wars Holiday Special one unless he deleted it.
No, I'm seeing it. It's a live chat. He's saying Mr. Ripper holiday special.
God damn, this
And
shit's just fucking weird sometimes. God damn it, YouTube. Learn to YouTube better.
Fix your shit, YouTube.
I
Yeah,
will-
but he was there.
I will say this at least. For this movie, while yes, it seemed like Nicolas Cage's character was supposed to be hated and you're supposed to kind of go back and forth with Hop, at least all of the characters weren't like, I don't care about any of these. Like a couple of the last movies we watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. There was only really two unlikable characters in this movie. The girlfriend,
I wouldn't
I
say
didn't really
that.
care for either.
I wouldn't say that Nicolas Cage's character was unlikable. It was just that he was immature and he was childish. He was still affable and still had his charm to him. Like, he wasn't like a complete nutter ass. Well, he was. But
No, he was a complete nutter asshole. He just had.
Was
the
he an
charisma
asshole
to-
for a reason, or was he an asshole just to be an asshole? Like, was there depth to his assholeness?
I mean,
Yes.
it's clear that his father is abusing him, and he's probably doing it as a coping mechanism. He's trying not to get close to people. You know,
And I meant character depth, not cavernous depth.
no,
I know what you meant.
I mean, you could clearly tell he was still hurting from his mother's death. Like, you could tell that when you got that little tidbit toward the end, you can clearly see, like, yeah, you can see that hurt still there. And he just kind of found some way to cope, drinking just like his father does.
Yeah, trying to
Okay.
figure out exactly what he's going to do.
The
Yeah,
mother's death was a MacGuffin, in my opinion.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was an 11th hour, oh shit, trying to give this character some likability, but it did give him some likability.
No, not really. And his girlfriend didn't really have that much likability to her either.
Yeah.
Sally or
Yeah, Sally. I mean, all of them, they weren't the main characters. They were basically the
Support.
the support, the things that Hop had to deal with.
Yeah.
Because like you can tell that Sean Penn's character really liked his friend in that whole thing, because it's just like everything they had done for the longest time they had done together. It's as if they were a family. And they just never actually said that, of they doing the whole thing of like, yeah, he's been part of my family, or it's like been around so much, he's basically part of the family.
Yeah. See, when I was in high school, my mother had what she liked to call the throwaway kids. And it was kids that were also poor, but maybe they didn't have the greatest living arrangements or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And where it was easy for some kids to come up with $5, for them it was harder.
Yeah. They were kids that had
emotional damage.
Exactly. And so my mother would, like throughout the week, she would feed us a hot meal at lunch. And because they were our friends, they were still throwaway kids.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to smoke and have lunch before having to go back to school.
Yeah.
It's just how my mother was. So they became like family to us all.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it kind of is sometimes. You bring in, you basically kind of adopt a kid on accident.
Adopt a kid on accident.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
that's actually basically happened with one of my friends. Like the one that I said, oh, it's my buddy subscribed to my channel last weekend, or on the last show. Quite literally, he's basically family.
Yeah, I've had that too. I kind of worm my way into someone's house and life and existence.
Well, it's just because he, like, before his grandparents passed, like, I was basically part of their... Me and his dad somewhat got along, but his dad had a big issue with drug and alcohol, which is actually the main reason he avoided drugs and alcohol. Which it's kind of funny, because it's some similar situation with my brother. Has had an issue with drugs and alcohol, except for he did dumber shit. But yeah, he got to see his dad basically spiral in a lot of cases. Plus, after meeting his mother, yeah, his mother's kind of insane, and he went with the better role model of his grandfather. That's the reason why he's a firefighter. And the dude, even though, yeah, we're about the same height and he's a bit bigger than me, I'm still pretty sure the bastard could lift me and carry me. I might have a little bit of issue with him, because I'm pretty sure he weighs around like 250 minimum.
I would love to weigh 250 again.
Oh, you'd love to weigh my weight then.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to 240. That's what I'm trying to get to.
My picture in Discord, that was me 2 years after I got done with the oil field.
Mm-hmm.
I was 255 pounds there.
I'll need to drop 50 in order to catch you guys.
How big are you, Hellcat?
I am, let's see, 5'11" and 300.
Wow.
I'm 5'11" and 272.
Yeah. I'm 5'10" and 230.
Fuck you guys. I'm 6'1" and 415.
Oh, you also have to remember, it's like I did gain about 15 pounds from getting out of the military and that whole thing, and probably it didn't help that I quit smoking as well about a little over a year ago, but no, almost 2 years ago, but it was probably the smarter thing to do.
And
I'm just a lazy bastard, and I don't want to do shit.
Oh,
it's funny because I ask people like, well, how much do you think I weigh just by looking? And I actually won a carnival game with this, where they're like we can guess your weight within 10 pounds, and I'm like, I bet you. And she's like, well, I took off my sweater. I'm like, I'll give you a fair shot. And she goes, okay, I'll guess you about 250. And like, and what do I win if you are wrong? She goes, we have this poster. And I'm like, give me the poster. Like,
Okay, so I will go back. Go to this. I gotta scroll down to here. I'm not gonna share it on the stream itself, but I will go back to general.
yeah,
on
people
this.
think I'm 260, 270.
Wow.
I will change windows and I will switch to this with an avatar over my face. That's what I look like. So it's like I've still got a gut, but I can't hold. I'd have to pull the little sweater off that I had on. But I got actually decent shoulders.
Yeah.
It's working on the gut. Working on the gut and my man boobs, but that's how I look.
That's what I'm trying to get rid of. My man boobs, my chest, my chest
Chesticles?
buddies.
Yeah, I'll probably lose more
Take care,
once the summer gets here and I start doing more cardio.
See, Mitch.
Later, Mitch.
You
Switch back.
guys are all on my Twitter. You've seen pictures of me, so
Oh, I haven't seen pictures of you, Angel.
He doesn't have
they're on
Twitter.
Twitter.
He doesn't have Twitter because they don't get.
He doesn't have Twitter.
Elon is trying to keep the black man down. You know, as a fellow African, he really shouldn't, but he is.
Give me a second. I'll send you a picture.
But I mean, hell, if I could get, I would just kind of love to get back to what I was doing when I was in Africa, but I do not have the discipline for that while being back in the States. Or not. Well, in Africa, I ran every other day, and then I was at the gym for 4 days on and a day off, and I'd repeat that. But I was at the gym for almost 2.5 hours, and I didn't have a whole fuck ton of rest time because I worked out by myself.
I was running for fucking wildebeest and lions and shit.
Because I was on a naval base, well, a naval camp, because they don't have bases, they have camps. But I was there for a month and a half in 2017.
Damn.
Yeah, luckily we actually made it back like the day before the 4th of July, so that was actually pretty cool.
Sweet.
And it was funny because when I got off the C-17, because I didn't get to ride rotator or our planes back because I rode them there. I got off the C-17 at the frickin' at our base at Cannon, and I see the base commander, and he's like, "Is there anyone else on there?" I'm like, "I have no idea, sir," because I'd been up for like 36 hours, and for a good 6 hours of that, I'd been drinking. So it's like, oh, we have to go be at the frickin' spots we can hopefully get a plane in 4 hours. Fuck it, I'm not even trying to take a nap. That was also on the way there was how I had the whole thing of hitting turbulence in a C-130J and being in my hammock that was strung across, going up and down probably at least a straight foot. And I just I'm like, okay, let's tilt my head up and see how everyone else is looking. And about everyone else that was in their hammocks is sitting straight up looking like, okay, are we going down and whatnot? I'm like, no, I'm going to try to go back to bed because if we die, it's like if we crash, I'm going to fucking die anyway. So not going to work with it. And I'm going to worry about it. Well, it's that whole thing. It's like I've been in mortar attacks. The closest one was like 50 yards away. Been through tropical
You can't be
storms.
sending me news. Oh my God, James! I'm sorry, I didn't look at it. My bad, James.
He's
No,
such
James.
a liar.
James, don't hurt me,
Don't let her.
please.
She hasn't said me, you sure
Huh?
James, I didn't see anything. I promise. I looked away.
My hand is not on my junk, I swear.
I swear. Oh, no! Oh God! What? No!
James, I sent him a picture of me in my ultra revealing Smart City Networks uniform.
Yeah. What I said was, as if she hasn't sent me nudes yet, so I know you sure as hell ain't getting them.
Angela, send James nudes. Trying to tell you something.
No, I'm just being honest.
Just wait till you're in person.
I know.
It's still fun to see nudes, though. Come on.
Yeah, it's still fun, but sometimes the mystery's a bit fun.
person.
Sometimes the mystery's funner.
Yes, the mystery is a lot more fun.
And like I said, he can take his own when we meet in person.
That is true. That's always the fun part.
Oh, stream paused. Oh,
Did it-
okay.
Did it not change over to the frickin'...
No.
Change windows. Screw it, we're just gonna go screens, go live. Change windows. Sound pad, go live. It is not wanting to change over to just sound pad. To the application, you bastard.
So back to the movie.
Yeah.
Continue. Don't let me stop you.
I thought it was really it was
Really?
an interesting way of presenting the different levels of complication of someone's life.
Yeah.
Because there was the relationship between him and his mother, and then the relationship between him and his dad, which was super mellow and exactly the opposite
Yeah.
type of feel, and then the relationship between him and Nikki, and how Nikki really was kind of
Nikki basically
an
used him as a
albatross
crutch.
around his neck.
Yeah. Nikki was a
And-
weight for Hop, but Hop was Nikki's crutch.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the relationship between him and Patty.
She should have just came out and told him that she was the maid. She when she realized that
That he thought she was rich, it would have been a lot easier, but I don't know. I think she was just so shocked that he didn't realize
Yeah,
that she
because
wasn't rich.
that she wasn't rich because she worked at the movie theater. She didn't align herself with a bunch of other rich women, which would usually be done at the time.
Didn't she work at the library as well?
Yeah, she helped out at the library.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was that she helped at the library or that she went there specifically as the work she did with the USO.
I think she did it because she would go through to do that as volunteering so she could do the stuff at the USO. Hell, I think this is actually the most analysis we've had on a movie, except for when me and Tier went over the Jordan Peele movies.
No, we analyzed the fuck out of Hereditary and Midsummer. As a group,
Hereditary didn't last very long. The conversation
No.
on Hereditary did not last very long.
No.
Midsummer lasted almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we still did get
That's
off on a
because
whole lot of
Midsommar was-
tangents.
Midsummer was not a good movie. It was just a weird freaking movie.
Yeah, Midsummer was a drug trip to Midsummer was a bad drug trip.
Yes. But back to this one.
Was
Back to this one.
garbage.
This one was more like a presentation that life still goes on in spite of the fact that there is a war.
Yeah, because it kind of seemed like it was trying to pull the whole thing of to kind of be a jackass or whatever you want to call it. It didn't fall into the complete just American propaganda of, you know, oh, we're going to beat the commies, going to beat the Nazis. Yeah, at that time it'd be like, we're going to beat the Nazis and the Japs. And instead it was like, yeah, like, here's propaganda about it, but here's also people that have come back and, you know, they're in a transition of being at this hospital to then go to wherever it is they're going. That, you know, they can't live the life they lived in or had anymore because, you know, they're missing limbs.
I'm assuming that was the school that put on the mock battlefield presentation.
Yeah, well, that was supposed to be for the girls that were trained to be nurses. But, you know, when Caddy took Hop to go see Wounded Warriors.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess it'd be the prequel to Wounded Warriors.
Yeah.
Because, like, flat out, like, when, you know, he talks to one dude and he's like, you know how old I am? He's like, no, sir. And he's like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 17. And he's just like, I'm 22. And he just kind of has that look like, dude, my life is fucked.
Yeah.
You know, I make jokes when I lost part of my finger. I don't know if I can make jokes if I lost part of my leg. Actually, I still could. Because I would definitely have a specially made wooden leg with a peg on it. So I could be a pirate.
Captain James Comey.
Yeah.
Collie.
Comey.
Well, you know, anytime something would happen and someone would say knock on wood, he'd just raise his peg leg.
Nah, he wouldn't even do that. He'd just stomp his foot.
No, for someone else to knock on wood.
Oh,
And my
Ah.
son-
yeah.
Here, let me get that for you.
He'd be like, oh, knock on wood. Here you go, man. Look, don't take too long. I ain't keeping the leg up all goddamn day. This ain't a charity.
James, beware of termites.
Well, that's like
Right.
in that picture. If you were paying attention to like where my right hand that was holding the phone, of how my middle finger looks so weird, it's because I'm quite literally missing part of the tip of the bone. I bunted wrong in high school.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah, metal baseball bat, 70 mile an hour pitching machine.
Oof.
Yeah, I'd never bunted before, so that was no fun right there, buddy.
Oh no.
Oh,
I will say,
oof.
for that, going back to the movie thing, I was expecting something a little different when they open up with Sean Penn walking down a train track, smoking a cigarette, seeing the two kids put a penny on the train track. The train goes by, they pick up the pennies, and they stare at him and then, like, run off. I was like, the fuck is this shit supposed to be?
You can flatten a penny.
No, I know that. That's been around for a long time. Like, I'm technically the youngest one on the stream, and I was still born in 86.
You're only a few months younger than me. Stop milking.
Yeah, but it's that whole thing. It's like, we grew up knowing that of, you know, taking a penny and flattening it on the train. That's like back at the frickin', I think they might still have them at the zoos, but at the zoo in Grand Rapids and a couple other ones or places I've been to, they have that crank where you can stick a penny in there, then stick a couple other coins to pay for it, where you get to crank it out. It smushes the penny, but also imprints a different thing onto it.
Literally every tourist trap in America has that machine.
Yeah.
I remember that machine we have a science center in Baltimore, and one of the little exhibits you can do the cranking machine and get something stamped on it. Yes.
In Oklahoma, they have the plastic molds that you can get from the Oklahoma City Zoo of different animals.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to get hit by that train.
I was waiting for when they were train hopping at night.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for like Nick Cage to end up
Dead.
like losing a limb right there.
Yeah.
Like not even making it to the war.
Yeah, I was half expecting that to be where he died, to where you have the big somber moment, to where, you know, Sally's basically fucked on her own to deal with plausibly the kid or whatnot, and have to talk to her parents about it, and then they have to deal with the whole thing of, or Hobbs going through his whole thing of he's still supposed to go to the war, but he just lost his best friend.
I was thinking that he would get hurt, and he was going to end up shacking up with Hobbs' girl.
I would think he was going to get hurt, and it was going to sober him up some. Hey, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should straighten up and fly right.
Maybe I should stop being such a dumbass.
I had a close brush with death.
But they brought up, like when he told Caddy about it, and she's like, "Why would you do that? That's dangerous." And he's like, "That's the point."
Yeah, we don't live long because we do some dumb shit.
In the name of love.
No, we just do dumb shit because it's fun.
I was gonna say that was not in the name of love.
Okay, lust. Fine.
We do dumb shit because it's amazing and fun.
We do dumb shit because we think we're stronger than we are.
Up and call it in the name of love. You don't train hop because you're in love.
So in my city, there's this overpass where it's not a very deep jump or long jump, but you can, if you land too wrong, you can get really fucked up. And as kids, we used to jump that motherfucking overpass. It was just something we did. The stupidity of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb shit people have done. Predominantly men.
Mm-hmm.
The term "hold my beer" is a guy that I have never heard a woman say "hold my beer."
You don't live in Texas either.
I have heard a similar saying to that for women, except for it's usually the follows after that of, "Bitch, my man ain't your baby daddy."
Hold my earrings.
Girl, hold my hoops. Pablo, hold my baby.
Pablo, hold your baby daddy. Hold your
Well,
baby.
no, if you ever heard of the comedian Pablo Francesco, he does a bit on that to like Mexican girls. They go through, they're pulling off like, "Hold my hoops," like, "Pablo, hold my baby."
Yeah.
One man, one desire. I always think whenever he does that movie voiceover.
Yeah.
Back when they used to do that.
Listen to me. Little tortilla boy.
I tried to take my tortillas.
Get down.
I was on the like, get down again.
A lot of little things that I know because my family is like old school traditional USO girls. I was actually fascinated with the fact that the rich lady was still wearing silk stocking because silk had ended up being commandeered by the military to make parachutes.
Yeah.
And she was actually wearing real silk stockings with the actual seam and everything. Like, women had taken to drawing seams down their legs to make it look like they were wearing wearing stockings when they would go out because nobody had them anymore. So I was just like,
Wait, we talking about the chick who said that she had to run her stockings?
No, that was the
No.
prostitute.
Yeah, I was like, 'cause that was the prostitute. I don't-
yeah, and her stockings were not silk.
No.
That kind of like, that was the point of pointing out that she had a run in her stocking, was to let you know that they were nylon.
But wasn't that why the advent of nylon stockings came about, because of that?
Yes.
You know. But
It
even then,
also was also the only reason that she had nylon stockings is because she was a whore.
we don't call them whores anymore. They're OnlyFans models, okay?
She was a prostitute.
The proper term is OnlyFans models or Twitch e-girls.
No, she was not just doing film. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, film was expensive back then.
Oh yeah. No, she was a whore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
she was.
Her stockings were cheap nylon.
I do think it's funny that she basically told Henry, it's like, well, before you leave,
He
It's
would
like-
get a free ride.
it's like I'll give you it's like a free ride. Basically, it's like, oh, you're gonna go out. I'll rock your world before you leave.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he got his girlfriend, so.
But it's because he actually was genuinely
A sweet guy.
yeah, he was a really genuinely sweet kid. And then there was Nikki. The person I was talking about was, I forget what her name was, but the daughter of the rich guy.
Oh, the
Okay.
blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
gave
one
her
that she
the
stole,
Well, she was going to
The pearl
steal the
necklace from.
pearl necklace from.
Yeah, in the first scene that she was in, she's laying in the bed and you can see this down her stocking. And they made a point to show it.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
I didn't care enough to pay attention. I was looking at her legs.
I
was
am
like-
starting to fade out, so I'm going to duck out. I'll see you guys later.
All right, Johnny, take it easy.
Adios, Hellcat.
Have a good night. But I actually did that as a Halloween costume. 1 year. I went as a taxi dancer.
A flapper girl.
No, there's a difference. A taxi dancer is a woman who would basically dance with the military men for a nickel a dance. When they would go out, like if you're talking about single enlisted men.
So
Okay.
when they go to basically trying to go to a mixer to make it look like they weren't just a loser that couldn't talk to nobody, they could pay the chicken nickel, have a dance, so at least
Have a dance.
they'd have the interaction, they'd have the dance, and it didn't look like they did nothing.
Exactly.
They probably ought to bring that shit back.
And it was actually a really, really popular thing. My grandmother was a taxi dancer. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go old school, World War II taxi dancer.
Nice.
Sweet.
And I did the whole drew on my seam for my stockings and everything.
But that's. I learned something new today.
Yeah, so
I do really weird Halloween costumes.
well, no, it's not even that. It's like this brought up the things of that whole nature and everything. And because of talking with my dad the one time, like the whole thing of when they started playing the music at the the nurse thing so they could bounce out for whatever. Because they wanted to be jackasses or something. I don't know. Or I think they just wanted to skip what was going on for school. Like, them dancing, doing shit like that, they actually did back in the day. My grandfather confirmed that to me. Yeah, so that's like the weird dances and shit like you'd see in Greece. That shit, like shit like that actually happened. It wasn't just made up in the movies. Like
old school flash mobs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Flash mobs before there were flash mobs.
Well, I mean, it was an easier way to impress a girl to be able to dance instead of just, oh, check out the money I got. Well, if you ain't got money, most people knew that. And that whole thing. I mean, it's only been in the past really about 60 years, I think, to where people were doing the shit of, putting themselves in serious debt to make it look like they had money.
I don't know when this song came out, but it's old. I can mash potato. I can mash potato. I can do the twist.
Yeah, Do You Love Me? Yeah.
Yeah, Do You Love Me? Now that I can dance.
Love that song. I don't care what anyone says. It's a great song.
It's a great song.
It is.
I also just remember Carl Winslow doing it.
I
Family
can't
Matters.
do any of those dances. I love to dance, but I don't do any.
I used to be able to do some. I'd have to rewatch them to see if I could still do them. Because when I was 18, I went to one of our other school dances when I was dating a chick, and they pulled on some of those things, and I actually knew some of those dances.
Tell me, baby. Tell me, baby.
Like this? That was like when I worked at Hayworth before the plant that I worked at went under. Well, and then I left for the military and everything. Apparently, one of the girls there that I was kind of bullshitting with, she got mad because I knew a whole bunch of old songs that were predominantly in Remember the Titans. But, when you're singing, oh God, Ain't No Mountain High, and that whole thing, and you're singing the songs like that, and you're just going with them and still working. Like, apparently she got all sorts of pissed off and was just like, blah, blah. But she had a thing for me, but also this other dude who was a drummer in a Christian rock band. And she chose him, which I can kind of understand it, but it's really funny because like his family did not like her.
No.
Look, I never claimed.
Yeah, that seems to be how it rolls.
I never claimed to have good luck with women. God, who was I talking about that? To where I said I'm what's known as romantically retarded.
As opposed to regular retarded.
No, for that I'm a mostly functioning idiot. I have decent situational awareness. It's just when I may like someone that's a woman and they like me, I'm an idiot. I've only had a few instances to where it's like, yeah, something could happen. And the other one, it's like the one that was in Colorado when I was visiting a friend in there. And it's like, okay, like I'm starting to pretty well sobered back up. And yeah, I could probably take this woman home, but I'm not catching a plausible sexual assault charge. Not being in the military, because I will get ripped from head to toe without a second thought. Because I'm a guy.
Yep.
And the other was in Lubbock, Texas, and that woman was absolutely crazy.
Hey, these ones are the best.
Tell me her name off screen and I'll probably know her.
I don't remember her name, but she was the one that we were talking with her, and somehow someone had mentioned cocaine, and she's like, oh, I can get something. I'm like, okay, I have to interject because of my rank and everything. Do not do that. Like, I cannot stop you, but I have to tell you, you should not do that because we are not allowed to do that while in the military. And that whole thing. And then one of my other female coworkers, like, she saw me. She's like, yo, did you have sex with that girl? And I was like, no. She's like, good. That bitch crazy. And this was coming from like a 5'5", I think she's 5'5", like the whitest black girl I've ever met. But she's also one of the coolest people I know as well. It's a fucking sweetheart. And that whole thing. She just likes a lot of what would be considered white girl stuff and that whole thing. But yeah, when she came up and said that, someone's just like, okay, yeah, she said it. Take her word for it. She was the one hanging out with her friends all night anyways.
Wow.
Again, crazy ones are the best. They fuck like tigers.
Don't
But you
listen.
don't ever tell me your real name.
Yeah, just
I
never
don't
tell
know her
name.
name.
Your real name, dear. Do not tell her your real
Oh, yeah.
name.
Yeah. If you're going to put your dick in crazy, you don't tell it your real name.
Yeah, I have
His
a
name is Matt Jarbo.
I have a similar one because of Jack Cochran. That whole thing. It's Met Harbo.
Professional.
I throw the mustache out a little more and try to throw a little more Hispanic accent in there. You know.
Jesus Harbo. Miat Harbo.
For some odd reason, it somehow always comes out as Russian. They're like, "Why do you have a Spanish name and you sound Russian?" It's just like, "Why you ask?" You no worry.
Why you ask somebody?
Although one of the funniest ones was because for so much of my career, I always wore a ring on my right hand. And we got bullshitting and whatnot. They're like, "Oh, dude, you ought to freaking..." Because, of course, guys are going to go through the whole thing of, like, coming up with a scenario to where you could use that to get laid. I was like, dude, if I were going to go through that, I would have to say that it's like I was recently widowed. And it's like not only did I have to be married, I also had to be a father. And I lost both of them, and finally bringing myself to get back out there and whatnot. And a couple of my friends are just like,
Dude, why you
"That's fucking devious."
Run, darling. No.
No, I didn't do it.
The more complicated you make it, the worse it's going to be.
No shit.
Yeah, like keep it simple, stupid. Like, look,
I can write a book on how to be a male whore.
Honestly, I could
Because
just ask my dad.
I spent most of my 20s and 30s as a male whore. I can tell you how to do it.
James, you want to admit that to
That's
while
cool.
Angela's on stream? You sure you want?
Yes.
He
She
has
knows.
been very open about his history.
Okay, James. I mean,
Yeah, we don't have any secrets between each other.
that should be.
I was saying, for any of that stuff, anyways, I didn't do anything, and that whole thing. Typically, when we went to the bars, I just went to the bars to have fun and see if I end up getting drunk. I wasn't the people who, had the goal of, I got to get as shit faced as possible, as fast as possible.
When I go to a bar, I want to get buzzed. I just need something to help my courage, and that's it. I just need a little assistance.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. If you ever see me in a bar and I'm two-stepping and I have a beer in my hand, I should have been cut off before I had that fucking beer in my hand.
James, if I ever see you in a bar, first off, I'm gonna ask, what the hell are you doing in my city?
He doesn't drink beer unless he's already been drinking.
Drinking.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take the beer from you.
I mean, granted, when I was in Florida for the early of 2017, because God, for that year, I was not home a lot because I went to Florida twice, Savannah, Georgia, up there into the state of Washington, and Africa.
Oh,
And
Everyone's-
each place I was at, I was there for at least 2 weeks or more. But the first thing of going down there to Florida, yeah, I went down to I can't even remember what the thing was called, but whatnot, but went down to the one bar, and yeah, I actually tried my hand at line dancing. It's kind of fun.
I'm a city kid. I can't do all that. That shit sounds cool to me.
Line dancing's kind of a nightmare. I'm dangerous when I try to do.
Yeah,
Wait.
line dancing, you have to do it the right time because you don't really want to jump in there when you got 40 people that know what they're doing because you're probably going to hit one of them and you're going to feel like a dick. They're not going to get too mad because most of them like, hey, you're trying and whatnot. It's like you don't jump in the middle for that shit. You jump to the end. But in a lot of cases, depending on where you go, they'll do things like early. If you go early enough, they'll have like a thing for what the line dancing is going to be, and they'll show you how to do it and have it like where everyone's in a line, and they'll have you go through and do it slowly.
Okay.
What you'll see with me is I will be standing somewhere in the corner, following all of the steps of the line dance away from where I can possibly hurt somebody when I lose step.
So the funny thing is I can do a little bit more with like hip hop because I can somehow move my feet better and that whole thing. I can't do Michael Jackson shit, but I haven't necessarily tried either. Like I definitely.
So we're not gonna see you doing the Thriller flash mob.
Oh no. No. If I'm dancing, it means typically I'm pretty well shit faced, and it's highly unlikely it's going to happen at a bar because at a bar I'm just going to be like, no. I'll do that at home. Like the only way that's going to happen is if I was actually bullshitting with a girl and she pulls me on the dance floor. Otherwise, no.
Okay, I got a really good question.
Okay.
Tyr, you don't dance?
Nope.
Well, so much for stereotypical.
It's actually kind of like it's not a stereotype that all black men dance. It's just typically the better dancers happen to be, or it's like of male dancers tend to be black men.
Look, if you listen to me for 20 minutes, you'll realize I'm anything but the stereotypical black man.
Bullshit.
Next thing you're gonna tell me you don't like fried chicken.
Hold on. No, let's not get too crazy. I don't like watermelon or grape soda, though.
Okay.
I don't like watermelon either. Or cantaloupe. Didn't stand it to smell.
Cantaloupe.
Smell makes my oatmeal hit the wall.
I don't mind cantaloupe. I actually don't mind honeydew. I don't eat watermelon too often because I overeat the hell out of it.
Watermelon has a weird kind of salty undertaste to it that I find unappealing.
Everybody's different.
That's not watermelon, that's bofa.
Shut up, James.
Again, I'm anything but the start. I don't like watermelon on the ground thing. I don't like strawberries or cherries. I don't like any of that.
When the hell was strawberries a stereotype of black folks?
I don't know.
I just thought most people happened to like strawberries unless they were allergic to them.
I don't like fresh strawberries either. But I'll drink the shit out of some strawberry quick.
My brother didn't like strawberries either, but he had really bad teeth.
It's a texture thing.
I don't like chocolate ice cream either. I'm a straight vanilla guy.
So am I.
Yeah, I tend to prefer vanilla and then just add stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like, I actually tend to prefer soft serve because I can then get like a blizzard.
Ooh.
For me, there's nothing better than like an apple cobbler, hot apple cobbler, and then just 2 scoops of ice cream on top of it.
Oh,
And maybe some caramel drizzle.
You lost me. You had me, but you lost me.
Or chocolate drizzle, something.
Haven't really done cobbler for anything else. I'm more of like I do like chocolate cake, but that's because of what my mom makes and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And when she makes her no bakes, I still got to try that again. But I know that I have to make a bigger thing than the rest, or it's like I have to make a double batch of it. Otherwise, like I'm a Dutch apple pie guy. Like if you know how to make a good Dutch, it's like if someone knows how, if it's a good Dutch apple pie, like I might fight a person over it. And I don't just mean argue; I mean go straight to fisticuffs.
God damn.
That's pretty intense.
Well, it always threw people off, and like I've tried apple pie, or not apple pie, but like pumpkin pie that everyone loved during frickin' Thanksgiving in my family, and I'm just like, hard
Pumpkin pie
pass.
is gross.
I have tried several different cheesecakes. I don't like cheesecake.
Oh. Now, see, I love cheesecake. Cheesecake is wonderful.
Well, that's
Me
what
too.
that's where I've told people, and they're always like, "I don't get it." Blah blah. I was like, "Dude, you have to look at this in the proper context." Like, what? With me not liking cheesecake, that means the piece I would have gotten, you can fucking have. And they're like, "Oh," and it's like, "Yeah, dumbass."
See, I'm not big on, like, I'm not a huge fan of pie.
Well, that's why, like I said, it's
Um,
just been like for pies. It's just been the Dutch apple pie. I don't like pecan pie like my dad does.
Oh. Now, I like pecan, and I like, sweet potato pie.
Oh God, that's
Do
the and
not,
that's the.
I've
I don't like yams or sweet potatoes.
I do not like pumpkin pie. I don't understand why everybody's so in.
I don't get it. But I still remember when I was younger, and it's really funny because like this was after my aunt had learned that she accidentally used the wrong thing when making her pies, and instead of it being sugar, she was supposed to be using she used salt on accident. Yeah, but
Ugh.
it was a thing that I went to go have a Dutch apple. It's like have a piece of Dutch apple pie, and my uncle he's got the freaking thing, and he's got the fucking thing at Cool, or it's like the spray whip or whatever. And he's going about to spray it on there. He's like, "Let me know when." I went, "When?" He's like, "I haven't put any on there." And I'm like, "Exactly." As I take the plate from him, and he just looks at my dad like, "What's wrong with your son?" He's like, it's like, dude, he doesn't like that stuff. He never has. Like, you've never seen him to be the one of the kids that'll fucking go with a spoon to a goddamn bowl of Cool Whip.
Who does that?
Whip is funky. I like
got
actual
weird family.
cream. I will make my own whipped cream.
Yeah, like I'm not a whipped cream
That-
person.
Shut up, James. I'm not being dirty.
No, James is looking forward to making his own whipped cream here in a while.
Oh Lord Jesus
Roll
Christ.
her like the beater.
Angela, I'm embarrassed for you.
I have to admit that James has let a lot slip the last couple of days.
What?
It isn't a slip. He's letting you know his game plan. He's telling you the truth.
Yeah, because
You
like
know-
What flip?
some of the other treats that are it's like desserts and whatnot that have been made around my family. One that has actually made one of my cousins almost sick because he wouldn't stop eating them. Like he about got hit by by our grandmother with a wooden spoon, and she was not the person to go to violence, like ever. My mom used to make them. She would take 2 Ritz crackers, put peanut butter in them, or peanut butter, and make like a Ritz cracker sandwich with peanut butter. But then she'll have melted chocolate, dip them in the chocolate, and then let them sit to dry.
Uh-huh.
And he fell in love with those things and would try to continuously eat them. And they were like, you gotta wait, have dinner first. His mother did hit him. I know she did at least once. I'm trying.
Thank
No,
you.
I'm not a big fan of pie. I'm not a big fan of cake. But I love cheesecake and I love brownie.
Oh, yes.
I do like brownies if they're done right. I don't care for all the nuts and shit to be in them just because, honestly, other than peanuts and
Yeah, no,
cashews, I'm not the biggest fan of any of the other nuts.
I'm not a big fan of nuts either.
I'm a purist when it comes to. You might be able to put like chocolate chips or peanut butter chips in them,
Now, brownies with peanut butter chips, I think would be dope.
but like nuts and like I've seen people put dried fruit, and I'm like, that's not a brownie anymore. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's just a weird ass fruitcake.
Yeah,
Ew.
right? But yeah, give me like just a nice plain brownie and then maybe a scoop of ice cream. I'm a coffee ice cream girl, not.
Vanilla is the only way to exist. Anything else is uncivilized.
No,
Oh,
typically
unless it's pistachio almond.
I typically like to have the. Occasionally, I've gotten the Reese's ice cream, but I always like having the peanut butter and chocolate or chocolate peanut butter cups in them. I like that one.
There's this ice cream called Moose Tracks. It's basically, it is vanilla ice cream, like almost like marble ice cream. So vanilla with the chocolate swirl,
Yeah.
and then it has little peanut butter cups in it as well.
Yeah, actually, I want to say for that one, it's not always peanut butter cups. I want to say it's actually supposed to be either chocolate covered peanuts or just like chunks of chocolate. I'd have to relook it up.
Again, you lost me at peanut butter, and then you lost me at chocolate.
Well, we can't help it that you're a damn dirty heathen.
You're all bastardized in ice cream. Plain vanilla. Or French vanilla.
Yeah,
Or cookies and cream.
you can. Oh,
Cookies and cream.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the original thing of the original Moose Track product description as follows: was vanilla ice cream with peanut butter cups and the famous Moose Tracks fudge.
yes, that's what I was saying. That it's actually chocolate swirl.
Yeah, I'm not the
Like
biggest
a
fan of the
fudge
fudge.
You
I'm not a big fan of
You
fudge
don't
either.
like hot fudge. Well, yeah, you said you don't like whipped cream. I'm gonna say you don't like a hot fudge sundae.
No, I'm not. It's not my thing.
You know what I want now that y'all talk? I want a root beer float.
Oh, I love root beer floats. Have you had the blended ones?
Nah.
Well, it'll fuck your world up, man. What they do is they like in the big blender that they use for like shakes.
Mm-hmm.
Say,
They'll
it's a
blend
roach.
in. They'll put the vanilla ice cream in, and then they'll slowly add a root beer to it. Not
Ooh.
enough to make it plumb up, but by the time it's done, you've got this soft
Root
serve
beer flavored
blended root
milkshake.
beer. Yeah, it's almost like a milkshake, but
It sounds awesome.
it is flipping phenomenal. Okay, I don't know if y'all know what a Whataburger is,
Yeah.
but it's a Texas chain.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a Whataburger.
I have heard of it. I have never had it.
They have a Dr. Pepper shake that is phenomenal.
Ew.
They used to have a good.
I don't
I
like
don't know.
Dr. Pepper.
I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have a really good patty melt too.
Oh, yes, they do.
I think
But
the
it's
best
fun.
patty metal I had is from this place called Silver Diners. It's a Maryland chain. Not many people know about it, but I love their patty melts.
So that's like I used to like going to Steak and Shake, but there aren't too many around anymore. But it's hard to keep freaking people working about anything because of the dumb shit they did for COVID.
Yeah.
I remember Steak and Shake. I used to get their that patty melt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Best place for a patty melt? Waffle House.
Now, see, this is where it's like I'm contrary to some of the people that know of Waffle House and that whole thing. I've gone to Waffle House sober.
I've never been to a Waffle House.
Well, it used to be there was one that I went through in Amarillo when I was going to visit my folks, or coming back up to Michigan from New Mexico. But yeah, I would go there for a big old thing of hash browns, where I'd have them throw mushrooms in there. I didn't do the cheese because I'm not a American cheese person, but I think it was capped. So it was adding mushrooms, onions, and chili.
Not bad.
And I think I added ham in there as well.
Yep. Chunked, covered, and capped, and diced.
I thought covered was the cheese.
Smothered. You're right. Covered is cheese.
Yeah, and I just wasn't a big fan of that because As long as you had at least a half, it's like majority of Waffle Houses I've been to always had at least a halfway decent person for the cook. I mean, they always look disheveled and
You could tell they did time in prison.
you
Yeah.
can tell they had that, or it's like, they wouldn't hesitate to fucking deck you in the face if you said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
They ain't afraid to shake a bitch.
Or there's some type of idiot savant.
Yeah.
It's just really good with food.
Because that's like, I always made sure whenever I went to a restaurant, I tried to do everything to be as polite as possible. So they're like, oh, we got a nice white boy coming in.
Polite in general. I don't. Even if you're, I try not to be rude or anything. Please, thank you, yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna be a dick, I'll give the same energy back.
Yeah, that actually has been a detriment to me in some situations, to where the person's just like, well, you're giving me an attitude. It's like, you're being an asshole for an attitude. It's like, have you not looked in the fucking mirror? And that does not work for you in the military.
Thank God I didn't go to the military.
Yeah, I have a problem with authority, I found out.
No, I don't have a problem with authority. I have a problem with people who are jackasses and shouldn't have authority.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because that's like,
authority doesn't equal confidence.
that's like, I'm pretty sure I've discussed this one with Tier, but I'm pretty sure, and I think I might have discussed it with you guys, but I bring this up all the time. In almost any job you work, but it was really prevalent in the military, there is usually about 2 to 3 people that make a job shitty. That's like 2 to 3 people max usually that make a job shitty because they are in positions they should not be in.
Yes. Again, authority does not equal competence.
Yeah.
I think that's proportional to the size of your team. Because
Yeah.
my job would be fantastic if it wasn't for one very much in it.
Well, that's from what I've seen, because like, I'm talking about for an entire unit of the military, back when I was at Canada, or even up at Okinawa and Kadena. It was really never more than 3 people that I would have to occasionally interact with, that it's just like, you should have never been put in this position.
Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to give you authority?
Because they made rank.
Or they went to one of the military schools.
No, quite literally, it was because they made rank. Because once you get to a certain rank, like, if they're gonna want you to go high, to get you to go higher, and it goes back to that whole thing, at least for the Air Force, which is why I would tell some of the people that one of the things I got explained to me in ALS was, if I have to write you paperwork, it's getting filed. I'm not going to do that. Put it in my desk drawer, put it in the desk drawer and whatnot. And as long as you're good for the next couple weeks, it goes away. If you push me to the point where my jackass has to write paperwork, you're getting paperwork. Because if I have to then go to the commander and whatnot and be like, this person should not be able to re-enlist. What are the reasons for it? Here is all the reasons for it. And that's where the problem tends to lie, is the fact that they won't put the paper trail into effect because they think they can get the person to shape up, and it just doesn't always work that way. And if the commander doesn't have valid reasons, like the paperwork saying, hey, this person should not be re-enlisted, it's like should be re-enlist or should not be able to re-enlist or go to this, do whatever, they're kind of have their hands tied and been like, you don't have anything stating that they can't do this, that they shouldn't do this. And that's where it gets shitty.
At least for my job, like you need to cross your I's and dot your T's to get someone fired, because it's government work.
Yeah.
And I had a few bosses who had on people paper trails a mile long because they were just shitty fucking workers.
Yep.
You're not helping the situation. You're just bringing shit down. So you need to go.
It's approaching 2, and we've been on for about an hour and a half, and we definitely devolved away from the movie far enough that we're just talking random shit. So I think we're going to call it here. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do next week.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
I say we do Doctor Strangelove.
Yes.
That's a 007 movie, ain't it?
No,
No.
Doctor Strangelove.
it's a Kubrick movie.
Oh.
It's black and white. It's awesome.
It has Major Kong in it.
It has Peter Sellers.
Young James Earl Jones.
Also, what's his face?
Fucking
Not live. Love. Fucking fingers.
Doctor Strangelove or How I Stopped Learning to Worry and Love the Bomb.
Oh, the other one I was going to suggest, since I have it, is the Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
I've never heard of
The
that.
one with the
That's
basically
the
the
one that-
it's kind of like parodying oh god, the
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel and the fucking one dude's in
Siegfried
and Roy. But yeah, because it's got Jim Carrey that's basically like the Chris Angel character, and then you have Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi as the other two. Or as the two main characters in that. Plus, it also has oh fuck, I can't remember her name.
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde.
Oh, I like
And
it.
Gandolfini.
Like
What?
it is a fun movie if we're wanting to do a fun movie.
I'm actually down for that one.
Either way,
Either one is good.
I've been wanting to see that since you mentioned it when we were watching The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
And a chance to rip on a Jim Carrey movie is always fun to me.
oh yeah,
Well, Jim Carrey's not the main star.
Yeah, but he's in it, so I
Yeah.
want to rip on him.
I'm interested to see if I will like Steve Carell. I've liked him in exactly one movie.
What was that?
He was great in Dan in Real Life.
Don't think I've seen that. I didn't hate him in 40-Year-Old Virgin, but
I didn't see that one.
that
I didn't
it's
hate him
okay.
in. I didn't hate him in Anchorman.
I still cannot bring myself to watch the second Anchorman.
I didn't hate him in Evan Almighty either.
Did not watch Evan Almighty.
It is a little bit more grounded Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd like Old School, but I actually sat down and watched it.
That one's not bad.
It isn't bad.
That was my mother's movie.
I
God,
didn't,
she watched the shit
I
out
didn't
of that
hate
movie.
him in as the voice of Gru because I watched the first one. I haven't watched any of the others.
Oh, the Despicable Me has a special place in my heart.
I mean, of course, you're the main character.
I
Yes.
just watched the second Minions movie with my nephew on his birthday last year. It was so fun.
The
I
Minions are funny.
Still wouldn't mind seeing him in Dinner for Schmucks. I didn't hate Get Smart, but I also never watched the original show, so I don't have anything as a difference of it.
I watched the reruns.
I was gonna say I watched Get Smart when I was a kid.
I've never seen Get Smart.
Oh, it's great. The voice of Inspector Gadget,
Mm-hmm.
he's the one that plays Maxwell Smart.
So it's just Inspector Gadget for adults.
Live action Inspector Gadget, his shoe is a phone. It's fun. Incredible fun.
I wanted to see The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
The remake?
The originals.
But, okay, so next week it should be The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. And good lord, the movie is so goddamn weird, but so fun, in my opinion. So we will be doing that. And who knows, maybe I'll look at trying to do something tomorrow. Although I think I'm just going to see if I can catch him plausibly jump onto Pat's stream, because it's been a while, and Pat's a good dude.
Yes, Pat is awesome. Criminally undersubbed, too.
And that man can make some fucking content. Like, he has way more of a drive than I do. I'm just lazy in a lot of things, so this thing is easier for me.
Yeah, I'm lazy too. I need to start doing something with my channel.
But any parting words from the panel?
Parting words. Let's see.
Besides, parting is such sweet sorrow.
Safe till next time.
Cocaine costs too much, so use caffeine.
And it's illegal.
Yeah, and it's legal.
I was talking about the cocaine is illegal.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Well, all I'm going to say is it's always a bad idea after a drunken bender to come home to your significant other and go, all right, it's your turn, fatty.
That would be a very bad idea.
I thought so, too.
Now, all I could think of is a joke where it's like, people should drink more beer because beer makes you happy. And people say that you should drink tea, but it's so... I've only seen it make people angry. Like, I came home from the bar after drinking beer and alcohol, and I was super happy, but my wife had stayed up and she'd been drinking nothing but tea, and she was just so mad when I got home.
Exactly. That's like saying... I read that 50% of people are alcoholics. Scared me so bad I never picked up another book.
Now, all I can think of is the thing to where it shows a thing. I can't remember what country it was. And that, like, in this country, like 20% of people say that they are casually racist. That means the other 80% are professional.
I got a joke before we go.
Okay.
This black guy, he walks into a bar with a parrot on his shoulder. Bartender looks at him and says, "Where'd you get that thing?" The parrot says, "Africa, they got millions of them."
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you hate yourself for laughing at it?
Oh, man. Dang, you're really putting that nigga past the work, aren't you?
I'm what?
Man, you got to think that the person who first heard a parrot parroting a person had to be fucked up for a few days.
Yeah, he had been.
Why do you possess an animal? Why are you how did you get stuck inside an animal? How did you get stuck inside an animal? Ah! Okay, we're gonna call it for now. Everyone, I hope you have a good day. Appreciate everyone who stops by, anyone who watches in the future. I've been doing better at making sure my mic's not fucked up, as I hold my thumbs up to my screen for no goddamn reason. But hope you have a good week and do something you've been trying to do and you've been putting off. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.